So tell us a bit more about this survey. What are your clients telling you about the lessons learned from this pandemic, and what does it tell us about the future of work post-COVID?
Thanks, Yvonne, and I'm happy to be here. Thanks for inviting me. First of all, I think you said it starts with a white-collar workforce. Obviously, essential workers, a lot have been continuing to work at the company locations. But it was the pivot of the white-collar workforce that really characterized the first half of this year. And today it's still 70%, although obviously it's coming back in a few countries around the world. I think what all of our clients and us ourselves as a white-collar workforce company, have found that we have been able to migrate work, probably exceeding our expectations, to be done on these virtual remote platforms more than we expected. And so we've all had to adjust, and our clients are doing that. And there's a reasonable amount of variation by country, by type of job, by the mindset of the individual employee. But by and large, it's exceeded expectations that work can be done this way. And then we'll see now what happens as we get through COVID and out to the other side.
Not just for advisory services like yourself, but we're seeing it in retailers, this whole trend of an omni-channel way of working now. Is that equally good for everyone, Manny? Is there a way of working, is this way of working better for certain businesses versus others? How can you tell?
I think what you'll find, Yvonne, is that it's going to be a large variability in how it actually works for different job functions, frankly, from different mindsets based on your home situation. So we use the term omnichannel. If you look at what happened to retail industry as maybe as an analog, there are things you want to buy via e-commerce, and there are things you still want to go to a physical store for. And that mix is now applying to actual professional work. Some things clearly you can do arguably better via all of these remote work platforms. And some things you still need to be able to have the physical interaction and meet, whether it's deep relationship building or collaboration that requires physical proximity. So there's not going to be a one-size-fits-all. I think what we're finding, as you referenced in the survey, is that each company is going to have to adapt to a world that won't be the same as what it was last year. And it will be a mix. So this idea of omni-channel work with meaningful adjustments and agility for different kinds of your workforce. Some of it, by the way, is not just the nature of the different jobs, it's the mindset of people. As you know, some people actually, as you said, are enjoying working from home and feel they're more productive. And yet another group feel they're less productive for different reasons. So everyone has to create, each company has to create its own portfolio of how work will evolve, as we are too.
Let's pick up on productivity, Manny. I mean, the pandemic forced everyone to be productive. And since then, some companies are already wanting their workers back in the office because productivity has fallen. The banks among those wanting the workers back. What is the best model to maintain productivity and build resilience at the same time?
I would say, Slenda, the companies have actually seen various lessons in the last few months. They're finding that there are pockets where you actually can be more productive, and there's some intrinsic reasons why you'd be more productive remote. You're finding you have less commute time. People are finding creation of documents to make meetings happen, speed of decision making. There are challenges as well as it's gone later, where some employees feel I can't get into that work mindset. And so there's this issue of individual productivity, which can be variable, and actually the productivity of the teams. And so what we're finding, companies are doing this, they want to get the benefit of the lessons. How did we get more effective, agile decision making during the last few months and bring it back as they're going back to corporate headquarters? And then they also want to fix and adjust what made it less productive. And probably some of the best things we see are to actually work in this more agile way. Get smaller groups of people working together, either physically or virtually, and have the right tools to make a decision making fast. Because one thing that is consistent when whether companies have been working remote or coming back or in this mixed world, every company recognizes we have to move faster, we have to make decisions better, and we have to adjust to a lot higher levels of uncertainty in the quarters to come. And that requires this, as you said, this agile and resilient mindset.
Manny, to that end, Facebook posted an opening for director of remote work. How do, I guess, companies use this pandemic to better transform their businesses?
Well, some of our clients have actually said this is an opportunity. Right? Most companies have been on some kind of digital transformation agenda anyway, to take advantage of all the technologies we have to just run our businesses more efficiently. And so the reason this is a period of opportunity is if you look at this underlying virtual remote technologies that will be at least a meaningful part of how work is done, that's an opportunity to potentially move faster. And companies are finding they could do this. It's actually been a source of surprise to many how seamless it is. And so when new jobs get created, like a director of remote work, that's consistent with all the ways companies are saying we need to have real investment in making this aspect of our workforce, much more important. And that's why those jobs are created. Just like years ago, companies were creating chief digital officers or chief sustainability officers. That's typically a sign of how important this is to a company's agenda when an executive position gets created for this exact topic. And we see that happening quite consistently.